All right, here we are. It's Thursday morning. Is it Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday morning. Welcome to Win the Day podcast. Hope yesterday was awesome. Hope it's really, really good. Hope tomorrow's twice as good as today. Today, we're going to talk about how to win the day. And one of the things I want to talk about today is nastygrams, emails, voicemails, maybe texts, and for God's sake, social media. We all get wronged from time to time. And even the best of us are wronging somebody once in a while as well. All right. And you're going to find yourself angry, frustrated, embarrassed, pissed, mad, all that stuff. Right. And you're going to retaliate in a way. You're going to send an email. Listen here, you blankety blank, or I heard this, I saw that, you know, whatever. You wronged me. You done me wrong. All those things. I've done it. I've been the both sides, the recipient and the doer. Okay. And to be honest, let me see if I can count up how many times it's worked out. Let me see. There was no, never, ever has it ever. You know what? That was unbelievable. Thank you for setting me straight. Never once has that ever happened. Especially in this world now with this political environment we're in. Absolute nightmare. I cannot believe how many folks get involved who are real estate agents, who I'm assuming are selling to both Republicans and Democrats. Put themselves out there in such a way that it's almost impossible to work with them if they're not on your side, you know, or whatever. There's just no room for it. And the crazy thing is social media makes it so easy to do it. It's like, here, have a couple of drinks, let's talk. and then they put it out like you're Truman on the Truman Show, and you just start saying weird things and stuff maybe you don't want to after you think about it for 5 minutes, right? So let's just get to it. Nastygrams, don't do them, people. Here's what I would do. Here's what I do. All right. Here, let me just go there. You can get mad. All right. Get frustrated. Get whatever you're going to get. Go for it. Freak out. Do your thing. Okay. But then get over it. Take that thing. I have. Boy, if I took the hours, even if I got paid minimum wage, if I took the hours on what I have written about politics, you know, about who knows what on social media that was never sent, I'd be here in a different capacity, right? Some of my best writing is telling somebody how stupid they are. Unfortunately, though, I never, ever sent it. Unfortunately, I have sent a few. And I've been the recipient of them. I've lost friends over politics. Weird. Who knows? Maybe I've gained some. But the fact of the matter is, it's never a good thing. It's never a good thing either not to get angry, because some of this shit makes you angry, right? But remember, here's the thing about Trump. Love him or hate him or whatever, people are piling on the guy like he's not a guy. You know, think about it. There's been 2 attempts on his life, for Pete's sake, in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and people are it's so bad. People get to the point where, oh yeah, whatever. Did they get him? No, all right, yeah, move on. But you got to remember, there's a guy at the other end of this, right? He's Hitler, blah blah. You know, there's a guy with kids and grandkids and a family at the end of that somewhere along the way, right? You might not like him, but it's the same thing. When you're getting mad and you're on social media and you're punching out, oh, you're a freaking idiot and blah, 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 or whatever. You got to remember, there's another human at the other end of that that's receiving it. And again, I'm pretty sure they're going, you know what? That is very insightful. Thank you for pointing out how much of an idiot I am. I am certainly going to take steps to fix this. It doesn't go that way. So, but I understand frustration too. Spaz, right? I get that. But so go back, get frustrated, get over it, right? And then get focused. We're going to get into the gets. Get focused. and then finally get back to work. Because, like I said, I have hours lost. I have dustbin full of electronic messages that are just sitting in there, going nowhere. Okay. What if that was productive? What if that was going to something that was actually getting somewhere? So, and this happened to me recently, in case you didn't know. Somebody said something about something I'm involved in, to which I was firmly ready to set them straight. You see where I'm at, right? And I probably spent an hour and a half last night. It only to hit delete. So let's talk about this, and then we'll get into it real quick. The financial implications are massive. Think about it. You start going into politics, you start calling somebody something or whatever, you're going to lose a big portion of your potential clientele. All right. If you start fighting with other realtors, you start isolating yourself such that everybody doesn't want to work with you. That's a hole you're going to find yourself in that you don't need to. Right. So be very, very careful when you start picking fights, even if they're these offhanded, sarcastic, whatever remarks, because there's somebody human at the other end. They're going to feel your dart. And contrary to popular belief, they're not going to think of it as constructive criticism. It's just straight up dumbassery. Okay. So, and again, I'm not above it. I'm going to try to be better. And that's why we're talking about it, because I'll guarantee you anybody watching this is about to send a nastygram somewhere to somebody at some point here in the next week. And I'm going to tell you, don't do it now. Hopefully this will come back to you in that moment when you're about to hit send or post or publish or whatever the hell it is. Okay. Mark, what do you got on that?
Yeah, I think that there's an interesting balance here. I'm going to speak just personally. I think that nastygram, as I define it, is I am flaming or torching someone online and just coming at them brutally. And that's a no-go zone for me. Doesn't work. I personally have made the decision that I do make some posts about strong held beliefs, whether it's spiritual or politics, knowing that there will be people that disagree with me, but I post my posts in ways that I think are well thought out. Does it change any minds? No, it's a freedom of speech. Doing so, knowing that there will be some that go, I just don't like him because he's on this side of the spectrum. But I always look to say, am I posting something engaging or nasty? If it's nasty, not going to do it. And I think that there's that challenge in our world of if we give up our right to free speech, then I think that's a danger. And at the same time, I don't have to do it in a nastygram. That I think crosses the line. And there's that tension for me.
Be smart. Be smart, right? You can be right and get the wrong outcome. Okay.
No doubt.
I want you all to take a strong view, even if it's controversial. I'm all right with that. I want you to act, not react. Two different things, right? A nastygram is typically a reaction.
Yeah.
Problematic. Now, if you're going to say, you know what, I'm taking this position and this person was wrong, and I'm going to march on Washington, D.C. or your local MLS board or some real estate office, fine. That's you making a decision. I want to make sure people don't react and in the moment. So I'm with you. I have strong held beliefs I feel very comfortable with. And if you don't feel the same way I do, I respectfully appreciate that, and go pound yourself, right? Whatever. That's fine, but just don't react. Julie, you've been doing this for a while and you have strong beliefs.
I remember early on when I first got into coaching, and I was in a seminar, and the guy on stage put up a letter, a response to something that had happened, and it was unbelievable, but it was just, responding to a client about what a jerk they were. And the person had typed out this, very long letter, and it was unbelievable. And I thought to myself, type it out, print it, then crumple it up, burn it, do whatever. Another thing that I've thought is, we all have things that react to. I am 100% protect free speech. Everyone, in fact, the worst speech of all, when people are saying things that are you can't believe, that is what needs to be protected, because who gets to say what is hate or whatever? Who gets to decide? And when we put someone in charge of deciding, we've got a problem. But set a timer. Use your phone. Use an egg timer, whatever. And for 5-10 minutes, rant, write, do whatever, and then say, no, I'm done. Because the negative toxicity that you're putting down into yourself is poison. And when you're swallowing poison, we've all heard this, you're swallowing poison and hoping someone else dies. It doesn't work. They're fine. They're fine on their side of whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I like that. So what I'm hearing you say is act. You can act. Put a timer, relax, come back to it. And if you're still feeling that way, then now it's a conscious decision to do it. React is bad.
Every man, every husband has this understanding that when the wife is blah, 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 guys want to solve problems. And a good question to ask of your wife is, do you want me to solve the problem, or do you want me to listen right now? Because sometimes, and this is men and women, we just want to rant, but put a limit on it, because it's not good. It's not good for your soul. It's not good for your spirit. And it's not productive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the opposite. Destiny, I bet this has never happened to you, but try anyway to empathize.
I choose to not post my political beliefs or anything like that. I want to be extremely careful to not offend anybody. Like we all have said, freedom of speech is great. I just choose to not post my beliefs.
You're free not to speak too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, it's so easy to offend people now, and especially in this business, in this industry, and the person that I'm trying to become being new, it's important for me to kind of just be Switzerland right now. But I think, we always talk about the first thing we have to do is manage our own emotions and keep ourselves in check. Why are we feeling so triggered? And like Julie says, have our moment to rant, but not publicly, because once it's out there, it's out there. Somebody's screenshotting these days. Somebody is sending it to somebody else, and then it's out there. Even if you delete, it's still out there. And so just being careful to represent myself in the standards that I have for my business and my brokerage as well.
Love it. Hey, Andrea, you got to be responsible for a ton of people. Is this a nightmare for you?
At times.
You got how many agents? How many agents are you watching out for?
About 330.
All right. So that's a lot of egos running around. I bet you ever hear about this?
Oh, yeah, sometimes. A couple of my takeaways, I'm going to tag on to what Julie said earlier. Abraham Lincoln used to write these scathing letters, but he would never mail them. He would just keep them in his desk. And that.
What would Abe do, though, if all he had to do was push a button that said
tweet it?
But he got the venom out. I mean, I think that's part of it, releasing it and just getting it out, but not having the consequences to have to deal with it by making a quick decision. Yeah. I've had clients and I let them sleep on it because a lot of times they'll make these rash decisions. They'll get caught up in the emotion and they'll go, I don't want to sell anymore or whatever. And I'll just let them sleep on it overnight. Don't relay that message at a time when it's not going to work. I mean, if you're an agent, I'd recommend you don't answer your phone after 6 or 7 o'clock at night unless it's like an emergency, because you can't solve a lot of problems at that time. And that's when a lot of people are drinking and stuff like that. And it just doesn't usually go well. It gets emotional.
Yeah, nothing like the drunk.
I want to tag on to something that Andrew just said. When you find yourself in a conversation where there's a rant, whether it's another realtor or a client, a strategy that I have is to stop talking altogether. Don't respond. And then, depending on what they're saying, I'm going to hang up now. You tell them, unless you calm down, unless you stop this, whatever, I'm going to hang up and, I'll call you back at a better time when we've both had some time to relax a little bit. But I just tell people that I'm going to hang up. And the other thing is the outgoing message on my phone is if it's after 6 p.m., I'll call you back the next business day. Now, there are exceptions, but I only make the exception for people who are respectful and aren't, drinking or having a bad time.
There's a proverb that says, a soft answer turns away wrath. Grievous words stir up anger. And when in my old days of therapy, when I was a therapist, people say, you can't talk to me that way. And I'd say, yeah, they can. But your ears don't have to remain there. And I think that you bow up when you're not going to post that. You're not going to say that. Or the better thing is to say, you can keep on doing that. But to Julie's point, but I'm going to need to get off the phone and I will be back. I will call you tomorrow when we've had the time. Set the boundary, set it calmly, and then follow through and then call back. Don't avoid. And that's offline. And at the same time, how many emails have I written that I've deleted? I need to get out. And it's good for but to your point is set it up, be done with it, and then delete most of it.
So here, I'm going to put the other side on it too. Just remember, if somebody's ranting about something, if they're saying something you did, or you're mad about something they did, keep in mind there's probably a kernel of truth in there somewhere because they're reacting to something. Generally, this stuff isn't just made up out of nowhere. So in the moment, do not react. Take a second, think about it. I mean, it takes a strong person, stronger than me for sure, to analyze what's going on. Why is this even out there? Maybe I did do something, or maybe they are, or I'm whatever. Here's the other thing, though. Kyle puts on here, right? You're an idiot. That's my fail-proof response to people who are acting idiotic. And he's absolutely right. He's not wrong. I don't know if he's absolutely right. He's absolutely not wrong. But here's the deal. You can be right and get the wrong outcome, I guess. So, and Kyle's one of the best posters on social media, so that's really cool. And he's got a great wit with sarcasm attached to it. The problem with written one-way communication is sarcasm is really hard to pull off. Like when I say, "Oh, what a dope," that's different than "What a dope," right? It's two different things, but they read exactly the same, right? Or that's dope, right? That's cool, or
intonation. You don't get it when it's written.
Yeah, very difficult.
So
Kyle can pull it off somehow. I've seen it. So here, let me and we'll come back to it. I'm going to save you guys some money and a lot of heartache. And that is just all I'm saying is act. Don't react when you get angry. All right. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. Let me be clear on that, because I know a whole group of people going, what? What is that guy saying? Right. Act, don't react. It's gonna be, your checkbook's gonna be your friend. All right, let's go around the horn. What do you got on this, Mark? Last words?
So a good friend of mine always says, before you worry about what's on the other side of the street, make sure your side of the street is clean. That's always the first. Clean up your side of the street. That's where you got to focus.
Love it. Julie?
Take ownership. If I make a mistake, I'll take ownership of it and I will correct it. But I'm very careful when the more heated it gets, the more the voices change, and it starts to escalate, the less talking. And that's hard to do. Talk less.
What's that?
And definitely don't respond. One of the first things I taught my kids when they first got phones when they were young is don't respond via text if you're angry. So don't respond via text, email, social media. If you're upset, if you have anything but a calm persona, if your attitude is anything but calm, don't type it out. Don't put it out there.
Right. Destiny?
I experienced most of this with cold calling. They don't know who's on the other end, whether it's a racist remark, whether it's a political remark, whether they're just mad. And I take that as, maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe I caught them at the wrong time. And so, I always, like Julie says, just stay quiet. But then I always say, I hope you have the best day today, and try to diffuse them a little bit so that the next time I call, because I'm going to call them again, that they remember who I am, because I was kind. And so I always just say, just be kind. Even when you don't feel like it, be kind.
Love it. Andrew?
Lastly, with seek first to understand. And I get a good quote from my coach, and he said, we judge ourselves based on our intentions, and we judge others based on their actions.
Love it. So let's just review real quick. Nastygrams, don't do them. Don't do them. You can write them out, do whatever, throw them away, burn them, whatever. Get mad. I'm all about it. Get frustrated, get yelling, get screaming, get whatever you got to get, and then get over it. All right. And once you're over it, you've wasted all the time already. Get refocused on what matters, and then get to work. Okay. That is how you're going to win the day. So let's just leave it there. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.